there's been a lot of angry people on the internet, on Twitter and all that. No one's angry at you. Have you been online?
People are mauling about Tectone. If you think this is bad, it gets worse. Give me a second. This is 14,000 likes. This fucktard is the Oppenheimer of the gacha game community. Of gacha game communities. Pretends to be a good-minded person, but he ruins everything he touches. Basically, like a reverse Midas, every piece of gold he touches turns into shit. Let's listen to what he's saying that's warranted this type of reaction.
Oh, yo, bad. Kuro better. Oh, yo, bad. Kuro better. They're both bad. All right? They are. Because now, the Wuthering Waves' only personality trait is shit on Hoyo.
That's true. The majority of them, that's all they talk about, is about Wuthering Waves being better than Genshin Impact. That's true. And by the way, do you know why that's true? It's because everybody, including Tectone and me, farmed videos about that being the case.
Can't talk about anything else. And it's the truth. And if you want to act like y'all are different...
Yeah, we did this.
Well, just look at how ass hurt everybody got over Wuthering Waves story reviews. Let's be real, man. They're both bad. Okay? Doesn't mean that Wuthering Waves as a game is bad. It's not. Wuthering Waves as a game is great. But it's getting worse, guys. It is.
So this is...
A shift is happening in the force. Like and subscribe, of course. We have seen Tectone literally came out and say that the Wuthering Waves community is just as toxic as Genshin Impact's community. And what makes it even worse, what literally proved this point, is that on Twitter, which I don't have, I don't install, I don't use it because it's full of porn, he got hated for that comment by a lot of Wuthering Waves stan. And it basically just proves this point. Like, Tectone is one of the biggest content creators when it comes down to Wuthering Waves. And to see him get hated means that nobody is exempted from the hate. If you talk bad about Wuthering Waves, you will get the wrath. Same thing I can say with Captain Cabinet, somebody that I follow. I pay attention to a lot of her videos. And I remember she made a comment on the live stream saying that it felt like a filler patch. And she got absolutely hated for it. And it's a very toxic community, the Wuthering Waves community is. And I've been saying this. I've been saying this for quite some time now, and it's very fun. I'm really interested for all the Kuro bots that are in my comment sections always fighting. I want to know your response for this. I want to know what you're gonna say is the excuse for why these people are so toxic towards their own content creators. Why? I understand you can make the complaint to say that, yeah, but Brad online get a lot of hate for something that he said. And yeah, you're right there. But I have seen a lot of good on Hoyo's side. I have seen HKK made a very negative video on Senator Zone Zero's 2.0 story, and she didn't get any hate for it, and people were acceptable of it. I've seen Brax literally said that he's done with HSR, and I was expecting a lot of toxicity, and I literally saw none of it. And I saw a lot of people that were okay with it and okay with his decisions and just hoping that he would come back to HSR. And up until recently, right now, he's even making guys with some of the characters and playing the game and talking about the game a lot, which brings me to another side topic that I want to say, which I think this says a lot that people really like Hoyo games, particularly the two which I'll talk about, Tectone and Brax, because Brax has no reason to continue making content on Honkai Star Rail, yet he still do. And Tectone always be talking about Genshin Impact, even excited about Nightcry, which, come to think about it, Genshin Impact is the only game that he played that he isn't sponsored or wasn't sponsored to do it, which says a lot. Every time Tectone comes online, as you always see, he has been sponsored by Kuro, which really says a lot. And I understand. Tectone really likes Genshin Impact. He's just jaded that they didn't, sign him as a content creator. And I can understand. It's controversial figures, You make controversial stuff, they're not going to want to touch you. Some brands do that, particularly the East, not so much West, but it is what it is. But that's just the video. I'm just curious for the Kuro bots. What is their answer for this? Does this mean that Tectone is gonna quit Wither Waves? Not right now, but he literally is setting himself up to do so. And with the addition of upcoming gacha games, which are very much hype, like NTE as one and Azure Familiar, I can see him jumping ship to one of these gacha games. Because, to be honest, I really hope that Hata Studio don't mess up NTE. NTE is gonna be big if they don't mess it up, and it's gonna have a lot of streaming potential because there's just literally so much to do. You can just screw around driving around in cars and stream. I'm talking, it's a good streamer game. Azure Familiar, same thing. It's literally like Pokemon, but you can fly on them and the world looks very beautiful. You can just play around. Both of them are gonna be very good to stream. So content creators are gonna really like these two games. So that's my thought on it. It did came at a shock that Tectone would make such a comment, but this is not something that Tectone is just figuring out. Tectone has known for a long time, but he just didn't want to say anything about it. Like, Tectone is a lot more smarter than Saint Tontas. Saint Tontas is an idiot compared to Tectone, and I just think that Tectone is just getting tired of it. Tectone is branching off into other stuff, and he's leaving the Kuro defending to Saint Tontas. So it's pretty obvious that even if Kuro Boss don't want it, Saint Tontas is the face of your company. And when he just there constantly just starting shit with every single other game, it just make Wither Waves look so bad. And the fact that Wither Waves doesn't have an identity on its own, it's literally just a Genshin copy. That's why it has more chances of failing compared to everything else. But I know people may see that as being toxic, but no, I'm not being toxic. I'm just being genuine.